Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. This is the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9 here on Thursday night, June the 25th. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad we're all here. If you'd like to comment in, I'm looking at the 14 News Facebook page, and you can comment in there. Those of you that are frequent flyers, you know all this stuff anyway. Well, we have alert days, the full gamut here from storms to heat coming up. We're going to focus first on that storm threat, which started today, but will continue through Saturday. And as we saw today, a few severe thunderstorms, flash flooding, and we even have an elevated tornado risk for tomorrow. At least it's been bumped up a class, and I'll show you that here in a moment. Right now, the radar is quiet over the tri-state counties, but if you look back here over southern Illinois, we have one severe thunderstorm warning right now near Vienna, and then we also have some rain over here around Chester and Sparta there, moving up along the Mississippi River there. Most of the time when we have storms at this hour of the night with this environment, we would anticipate hail as the main threat with those. And sure enough, this one was showing a hail core earlier. Wind usually is not the issue. We'll check it real quick here, just to make sure we don't have anything going on that we need to pay closer attention to. And this is out of the tri-state, by the way. Vienna's way down there, and I don't think that's Pope County, but it's close to it. Let's see here. I zoomed in too far. You know how that is sometimes. There we go. Johnson County. And that will likely just kind of fizzle out down there over southern Illinois. So the short answer here is I'm not too concerned about a severe threat overnight. We will probably have some thunderstorms, but for the most part, it's just going to be rain and maybe some heavy rainfall. I told you earlier, we've got an alert day now every day of the week. The first three here will be for severe weather, thunderstorms, flooding, rainfall, and then beginning Sunday and pivoting into next week, we have our first real heat wave. That little 3-day snap there with 90s earlier in the month was pale in comparison to what's on the way next week. We could see some of the hottest temperatures of the year, 96, 97 there, and combined with the humidity, we might be looking at the heat index close to 110 around the area, which would be in the danger category. For tomorrow, we had an upgrade from the Storm Prediction Center this afternoon to a level 2 of 5 risk across the entire tri-state. And within that risk, we have an elevated risk for tornadoes. It's now at 5%. It was at 2% prior. And so what that means is if we get any storms that are, growing and capable of tapping into that weak shear aloft, we will likely have a tornado warning or two. And again, we're not looking, I don't think, at the situation that we had on Sunday. But, a tornado warning or two, or even a tornado or two, is certainly possible on Friday. I'll show you the timing here in a minute. And then Saturday, we continue with that risk for some isolated severe storms and heavy rainfall. Overnight through tomorrow morning, we have more thunderstorms coming in. Friday's going to be a lousy day to try to get out there and do anything. Whether it's mowing, gardening, or golfing, or any outdoor activities, you're going to be disrupted by the rain. Through the midday hour and into the afternoon, showers and storms continue, and that means by 6 o'clock tomorrow night, we may catch a short break before more rain moves in here on Saturday during the day. The model here has started to back off a little bit on Saturday rainfall. That would be nice if we could at least sandwich in one dry day, or relatively dry day. Our rain potential is still showing up around a couple of inches on average. Some of these storms, though, today produced 2 inches of rainfall in the space of about an hour. Next week, our concern will be heat, or the heat index actually, as those temperatures get into the mid-90s and we have all this humid air in place that feels like temperature will be flirting around with the 105 to 110 range through much of the week, and a long period of it, 5 or 6 days of oppressive heat. You really need to check in on neighbors and drink plenty of water, stay in the cool if you can, and avoid having your kids running around at full tilt in the midday sun, unless they can hop in a pool while they're doing that or getting the hose. So anyway, the only warning we have right now is down there in Johnson County, and these other storms are just producing heavy rain. We've not had any additional severe thunderstorm warnings, and it is quiet then every place else. We are at 70 degrees right now, the dew point at 69, which is pretty close, pretty muggy out there. Around the area, everybody right around 70 degrees. And we only got down to 66 today. That's kind of your tell that the air is a lot more humid. It can't cool off at night. And we did hit 87 this afternoon for the high. So already we're kind of pushing toward those 90-degree temps. We are somewhat cooler than we were yesterday at this time. And our low this morning was 2 degrees cooler than normal. Our average our high today, which is slightly off the norm. The only other 90-degree days we've experienced this year were here in the second week of June. We had the 3-day heat wave there on the 9th, 10th, and 11th. Our rain total not populated yet, but it will be. We had about a half an inch of rain at Evansville Regional Airport. So with that half inch, if you knock it down there, then we're back to a deficit of about 0.8 or so. The bigger picture shows, though, how unsettled now the map has become again now that high pressure has moved out. And it's all kind of hinging on this cold front, which is kind of a misnomer because A, it's not going to bring cool air down here, and B, it's not going to make it into the tri-state in a meaningful way. If anything, it'll stall out. And once it does that, then we continue to get those showers and storms along the boundary. And that's why we have that potential for flooding rainfall. There's a flood watch, by the way, through Saturday morning. And then here comes the heat. Next week you've got those mid to upper 90s showing there every day, and longer range it looks like we'll hang on to that heat right through Independence Day on the 4th, and maybe even after that as well. The GFS is dry then for the first half of next week, and save a couple of pop-up showers. I don't think we have another shot at rain until maybe late next week. Rain totals going down the line there, again around 2 inches on average, which is fine. I mean, that's great for farmers and everything. It'll put us back where we need to be on rainfall. Hopefully we'll spread it a little more than we did today. The European model is similar in keeping us dry through most of next week and not hinting at any rain at all through Friday and Saturday. Therefore, the rain totals actually with the weekend here still coming up around 2, so similar to what the GFS was showing. 70 degrees overnight, 84 tomorrow, and then wall-to-wall alert days there across the board as we maintain these hot, humid conditions, and the warmer, much warmer than normal temps are expected to hang on at least through the 9th of July, and drier than normal too once that heat wave sets in. I love this picture. This is from Deidre Cook, and this is where her kitty went during the storms I guess that was Sunday. Deidre was in the bathtub, the cat got in the sink, you know, form-fitting there for a fat tiger like that. So anyway, you enjoy that. We don't know the cat's name, by the way. I'm trying to get that. We've got our investigative reporters beating the bushes right now to find out the name of the safe cat back here. All right, let's get your questions and comments here. All right. William Raleigh, Indiana tornado count tied for the all-time record. This month is 72. It is. You are right. This has been the most tornadic month, and here I thought I had lived through it already back in 1990. So, but you know, that's been 36 years ago, so records fall over time. Bill Vowles, we got buckets of rain in Owensboro, lots of standing water. Yeah, you know, we never got a flash flood warning on Owensboro, but we had them across the river in Spencer, Warwick, Vanderburgh, and well, of course, Gibson, Pike, and a little corner there of Du Bois. Cheyenne Hammonds, is there a chance for us to be upgraded to 3 of 5? And could this be another night like Father's Day? Well, I certainly hope not. That's certainly not the not our hope around here. Could we be upgraded to a 3 of 5? You know, without a cold front nearby or some forcing mechanism, I don't see that. One thing that was helping Sunday, if you want to look at it that way, was we had a a warm front in the area. So we had a little bit of lift, and then we had an incredible amount of shear in the atmosphere. The jet was coming down, and so we had more ingredients for tornadoes. This time around, it looks like it's much more sporadic. So no, hopefully not like Father's Day. And remember, Father's Day was a record one-day tornado event. So the likelihood we would have back-to-back records is pretty slim when it comes to tornadoes. Laura Gray, no rain in Dawson Springs. Well, what's up with Hopkins County? Oh, you'll get your rain. Don't you worry. Steve Garrett, Bill Val's, yes, here in Rio, very short-lived, but it did pour down. Yeah, and we saw that rain. And they actually had some trees down over 231 up there by Gentryville. That would be over in Spencer County. And power outages and, the usual problems, and a lot of standing water in Warwick County, too. Angie Wampler, hello from Vincennes. Hey, Angie, good to have you on. Boy, I'll bet the Wabash River is going berserk with all that rain up north. You have to go down there to the George Rogers Clark Memorial and check it out. Susie Webb, no longer in the floodplain. Well, that's good. Kelly Schaefer, no more severe weather expected through the night. I don't think so. I think it's mainly going to be thunderstorms and just rain. Chris Smith, tomorrow's her birthday, so I don't have to worry about doing anything but relaxing. Well, happy birthday. That sounds like a good gift to yourself. Jeff Miller, only 1/10 of an inch of rain. What's the matter with you people? We had a ton of rain here at the station. All right, well, Jeff, we'll try to get you some rain somehow. I think you will be pleasantly surprised with the amount of rain you'll get here in the next couple of days. Karen Duckworth, thanks for the updates. Well, you're welcome. That's why we're here. Heather Pate, what was the time frame for severe weather tomorrow? I think we could have a few severe actually in the morning on Byron's shift, 4:30 to 11 or so, and then during the midday hour. Arden will be here for those, and I'll be in as needed. I'm here tomorrow night. Brian Koss, where's the highest concern for the worst of the storms Friday in the tri-state? It would be right along the Ohio River based on that outlook graphic that I showed you, and into southwest Indiana, kind of like Father's Day. Not hopefully like that event, but the same general area. Okay? I have one thing for us in Science Corner, and we haven't talked about this much, but heat illness. You kind of blow off heat. You think, well, I can cool down, or, well, we'll be fine. But heat-related illness can really sneak up on you. And you might not realize it, but heat is the #1 killer in weather. There are more fatalities from heat than any other thing by a long shot. Even hurricanes, tornadoes, lightning, you name it. And the reason is it sneaks up on you. We call it the silent threat because, it's just hot and you don't really think about what it does to your body. But as it turns out, if your core temperature goes above 98.6, your normal, for a prolonged period, your body will sweat to try to compensate. But see, we're going to have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, so even when you sweat, it can't evaporate. You know that feeling. You're covered with, sweat and miserable, and you're swatting flies. And I paint a picture, don't I? But on the serious side, if you start to feel a little faint or dizzy, that's stop whatever you're doing and get in the shade or get inside and drink water. Water's the best thing. They say, well, Gatorade or a sport drink or something, that's good too because it can replenish electrolytes and the stuff in your blood, but good old water will do it every time. And cold water's perfect, if you have access to that, but you can drink out of the hose too. I'm of that era where we drank out of the hose. And see, there's nothing wrong with me, right? All right, if you start to have a severe or throbbing headache, that might be more of a sign of heat stroke, which is a medical emergency. Excessive sweating means you've still got time to take action and get water and get into the cool. If you stop sweating, then you are likely advancing into heat stroke. If your skin turns cool, pale, or clammy, again, that's your body trying to cool itself. And the warning sign, you need to get into the cool. If you let it go too long and your skin becomes red, hot, or dry, you stop sweating, maybe even you're dehydrated, then again you could bring on a medical emergency. Both of them have nausea and vomiting, and a rapid weak pulse is also an indication that you're getting into heat exhaustion, whereas a rapid strong pulse, where your heart's pounding, would be more of a medical emergency. And you can pass out, of course, when those things are met. On the heat exhaustion side, you can cramp and things like that. So if you've got heat exhaustion or any of the symptoms I mentioned, if you get in the cool, in the air conditioning, get some ice packs or cool water, or drink cold water to cool your core, you can probably fend off heat stroke. Heat stroke tends to happen to people that get caught. They pass out in their car, or they maybe they were drinking alcohol and pass out, and then it quickly devolves from there. And if you've got heat stroke, especially if you're unconscious, then that's a call to 911 and a trip to the ER. So, I say these things just to remind you. I think most of you know this stuff, but, we all do stupid things, and I'm certainly one of those. And I've gotten to that point with the cramps and the dizzy and thinking, well, I'll just tough it out. And that's really stupid. So don't do that. See, as I get older, I'm more risk averse, I suppose. I'm just venting all my problems on you tonight. Carolyn Lovelace, watching from Hobstadt. Thank you. I guess everything's cleaned up now from Father's Day, storm-wise. Kristen Roberts, hey, we're still hoping for a trip to the zoo tomorrow. Yeah, I think you'll be able to get it in there between the storms. Just check the radar before you go. Tell Paul to feed the giraffe for me. I don't know, do they let you do that anymore? I think they do. It used to be you could give them like graham crackers and stuff, and I think of course the giraffes probably love that, but I think now they get like kale or something healthy. I'm old enough to remember when people would throw a snow cone in to the monkeys. Really not recommended. I remember when the monkeys were on the ship, so there's that too. Will Duncan, wind turned my gas grill over. Rest of the lawn furniture wasn't touched. That's weird. Yeah, you just never know how that wind is going to respond. Of course, you've looked at all the videos we posted with the pool furniture going into the pool and debris and stuff flying around. So when it comes to that, get inside and away from those windows. Allie, Dylan, finally no storms at night. Well, yeah, we hope. We might have a couple here overnight tonight. Shirley Evangeline, I remember you came to my elementary school. All right, cool. When was that? I've been going to schools a long time. I'm running into kids now that said, you came to my grandma's school. Yeah. Makes you think, doesn't it? Well, almost 40 years, that's going to happen. What was the time frame for severe weather tomorrow? Heather Pate. Like I said, I think we're going to get a wave in the morning when Byron's on, and then maybe into midday that might, kind of dribble on into the afternoon. That's what the models are showing. But, we like to say when we have storms going on, it's more, rather than forecasting, it's nowcasting. You're looking at the radar and, tracking what's coming in. So if you have the 14First Alert app, or maybe you use Radar Scope, Radar Omega, whatever it is, just kind of give a look every now and then at the radar. And if you see stuff blowing up, kind of look at how it's moving and then, plan accordingly. That's what I do. Of course, I do this. So let's see. Did we get everybody? I think I did. I'm checking one more time here just to make sure. Oh, we got Rhonda Banks watching from Mount Carmel. Nikki Fry says you can pay to feed the giraffes lettuce. Well, the zoo has to make money. It's expensive to feed those animals. So, a couple bucks there for some lettuce is good. But, man, for the giraffe, I wonder what that was like going from, they weren't graham crackers, they were some kind of healthy something. They were like wafers that looked like matzah bread. It was about this big, and you put it up there, and they would eat it. The giraffe has those long tongues and all that. I don't know if they give food to feed to like the rhinoceros either. And then in the petting zoo, don't they have like carrots and stuff? They might not actually, because the zoo actually has a very strict protocol on what they feed and to whom, right? I actually did an out and about. If you go back and look at the old ones, I talked to Taylor Kitchell, who's one of the people who tends and feeds the animal, a zookeeper over there, and we went to the kitchen, the commissary, where they prepare the meals for all the animals, and they've got this computer system. So every animal, is named, and then it has, okay, this one gets, 4 raisins and a scorpion and a couple of fish. It was fascinating what they feed. You think about like the penguins like fish, so they have different fish for them that are frozen. The snakes like rats. They had they had a variety of things frozen, and then I guess they zap them in the microwave, or they heat them up and then rush them out. And they've got it's like a hospital. They got little carts that have these like feeding trays in them. It was really something. Maybe I'll have to run that one again on the midday, or we'll run it here sometime so you can see. Actually, you know what? I can run it right now. By like or thumb up, who wants to see how they feed the animals at the zoo as a little diversion here? If we get a little reaction on that, I'll be more than happy to load it up here for you. It's like Mr. Rogers, we're going to find out how they make crayons. But it's quite a process over at Mesker Park Zoo. Oh, I'm getting, okay, all right, we'll do it. Let's see. Now you'll like this. You're getting bonus content here on the stream show tonight. All right. Here we go. Check this out, then we can discuss. Let's see. I'm Jeff Lyons, out and about at Mesker Park Zoo with Keeper Taylor Kitchell here. It's feeding time at the zoo, right?
It is.
Can we go around and feed everybody?
Absolutely, let's do it. I love animals of all sizes. My degree is actually in zoology. I went to Kentucky Wesleyan actually in Owensboro. So come on in.
It's like we've landed in the kitchen here.
Yeah, so welcome to commissary. So this is actually where all of our diets get made for the next day. So as you can see, we have a variety of fresh produce. Over here is going to be all of our fruits and veggies. Everything that we get comes from the same exact company that all the restaurants in town get their produce. So most of the time our animals eat better than we do. Every single ingredient in their diet is weighed. So in our computer system, it gives a caloric breakdown of every single item. A lot of people don't think about it, but a lot of our animals eat bugs, so crickets, mealworms, all of those kinds of things, and we keep everything in here. And then we also have different size mice and rats. You can kind of see the difference of maybe a medium snake might take this one, but a larger snake might want a larger item. Our penguins eat 4 different kinds of fish a day. So this is the largest fish that they'll eat, and they do swallow everything completely whole. They don't have a gag reflex, so it's just down the hatch. So they'll eat these guys, and then a size reference, we have capelin. So they'll eat these 2, and then they also get 2 other kinds of fish called silver sides and smelt, and they're about this big, and that's what we're gonna get to feed them in a little bit. I have had the privilege of helping raise several of our penguin chicks, and so getting to see those little fluff balls hatch out of their eggs, it is absolutely life-changing. Hey, baby.
38 degrees out here. This is a penguin's kind of day, isn't it?
It is. So these guys are actually from South America. So they do like a little bit of warmer climate, but their happy medium is about like 35 to 85. So they're loving the weather.
Hi. I have some friends. Is that okay?
This is Clementine over there, and then this is Kajana. These girls eat alfalfa. So they use those really long tongues to be able to go through that mesh. These guys have a natural behavior of grazing for most of the day, so we want to make sure we implement that as much as possible. So So we all have a line, so making sure that they get the appropriate amount of grain every single day. They'll get that in the morning and then also in the PM. Hi.
You care. You really love them, don't you?
I do love them. I put everything into my job, and then getting to build that relationship with them is one of my favorite parts of the job. They all have their own unique little personalities.
Yeah,
Wow. So you're telling me I can feed a rhinoceros?
You definitely can.
What do I do?
So you're going to keep your hand flat, just like this.
Okay.
And you're going to go in, and that lip is just going to take it right off your hand. You don't have
Okay.
to worry about teeth or anything.
Right.
They're back in there, so you don't have to worry about them biting you.
Okay, I've got it
All
here.
right.
Is that,
Yep, that's perfect. Put it in the trap.
there we go. And then tell me where.
Yep, you're good. He's going to take
Oh.
it with his lip.
Okay. Oh, you're right. He is a little
Yep.
slobbery. All right, that was fascinating. Thanks for taking us all the way around the
Yeah.
horn. Get it? Around the
Yes.
horn. With Keeper Taylor, I'm Jeff Lyons at Mesker Park Zoo and Van Du, out and about. Well, that was different. Hadn't planned on that, but hey, why not? We got it in here. Autumn Boss says, I'm having the best time watching this live. Well, good. That's why we're here, you know. Jeff Biller, have we found a new weather person yet? No, the search is still on. Let's see. Agile Warren likes it when I spoil you. Oh, I don't want to spoil anybody. We don't want to say that we're the Brat Pack back here on the First Alert Weather Show at 9. But I'll tell you, the zoo was so kind to let me come out and get up close to those animals. It really, I want to go back. That was obviously shot back in, I think I did that in January when it was in the 30s. And they invited me to come back in the summertime to do more of the outdoor animals. So we might have to get on that here. I've got a beekeeper lined up for Monday. So I'm going to shoot it and hopefully not get stung. And then we'll have that for you soon. So you can, they're starting to harvest honey up in Petersburg at the Freeland Love My Honey outfit up there. Okay, I've got to go back to work here. So I've enjoyed this. I hope you have too. And I will see you on 14 News at 10. In the meantime, please stay safe and thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Lyons, out and about at Mesker Park Zoo with Keeper Taylor Kitchell here.